It's about musical. There are crimes in many places. In every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for the real authority. Well, it can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a you must take it. I mean you cheche. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the surge of vigilante-style justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we have seen in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sion, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sion.
We want peace in Liberia. Peace in Monrovia.
Robbie, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh, no, Charles. Tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. Number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
Easy, when you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, so going deep and deeper. Put in thought to the Ichiki. Oh.
Let's say a pleasant good morning and welcome to the April 29, 2026 edition of the program from the Print News on Freedom FM 87.9. My name is Wendell Nimne and I'm here this morning with Esther Daku, Aliyu Masale, and Gos Koma. Esther, good morning.
Good morning, Wendell, and good morning to all of us out there. It's good to be here this morning. I'm glad that, I'm here and I can share what we have from our local daily on my decks and other happenings in our country.
Aliyu and Gos, good morning from our end.
Good
Yeah,
morning, Mr. Nime. Good morning, Esther. Good morning, Gus. Good morning, Mama Labira. Haliyu Masale. Glad to be here this morning.
yeah. Good morning. Wendell, you sound very whitish today. You got a little tune. Got some
Yeah,
bass.
yeah, I got
Yeah,
some bass in my voice. Yeah.
yeah. I say
I
maybe
try to be like try to be like Barry White today.
I hear it. Yeah. Good morning, Liberia. Gus, Corma, Esther. How you doing? You look
I'm
wonderful as
fine.
usual.
Thank
Mm.
you.
All right. Have a great day. I'm here.
Okay, so folks, that's our USA partner, Liu and Gus. We're here to share with you two local dailies. As a matter of fact, we have the hard copies of the Front Page Africa and the Inquirer newspaper. So from my end, I'm going to take two stories from my end. And so let's begin now. But first, let's recognize our sponsors, Crime Stop for Liberia, headed by Omen Sam Sion, Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction, owner and operator of Exeter's Entertainment Center on Gurley Street, is where you go to have all that special, drink. I mean, non-alcoholic and alcoholic beverages for that special occasion. The last but never ever the least is Mayuba and Sons Incorporated, petroleum dealer and distributor in Liberia. So let's begin with the front page Africa newspaper. Top stories first. It says, I have no idea what will happen. Missing files, missing justice. One case shows how dysfunctional police and justice system are falling rape victims. I have no idea what will happen. Missing files, missing justice. One case shows how dysfunctional police and justice systems are falling rape victims. Let's get to some more top stories. Legal issues questioning integrity of corruption probe. Defense witness for challenges prosecution's core claims in national security funds trial and disputes FIA timeline in John security role. And those are the top stories. Let's move to the big ones. National Security Advisor fires back at Office of War Crimes Court Chief, denies sabotage claims, warns against misinformation campaign, false, unfounded, and ill-fitted. Let's take a few lines from this story. Okay, let's get a few lines. Yeah, let's see. Yes, I'm there. It says the Office of the National Security Advisor has strongly rejected allegations by the executive director of the Office of the Establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court for Liberia, Councillor Jala A. Babu, who accused National Security Advisor Samuel Kofi Woods II of obstructing, delaying, and undermining the country's transitional justice agenda in what appears to be a growing dispute between the head of Liberia's War Crimes Court office and senior government officials. Babu alleged that key figures within the administration, including Anthony Samuel Kofi Woods, are undermining efforts to establish the court by contributing to funding delays and creating bureaucratic obstacles. Speaking during a live appearance on OKFM, Babu renewed long-standing concerns about inadequate funding for the office. He disclosed that in 2025, the office received 800,000 of the US 2 million reportedly promised by President Joseph Boakai in April. Additionally, he noted that the office has not received any portion of the US 1.2 million allocated in the 2026 national budget. Babu further revealed that draft bills related to the establishment of the court were circulated beyond the Ministry of Justice to other senior officials, including Butch Ben Keita, legal advisor to the president, and National Security Advisor Samuel Kofi Woods. However, he said the process has stalled, accusing senior officials of blocking progress toward the establishment of the courts. In an official statement issued April 26, the Office of the National Security Advisor described the accusations as false, unfounded, and ill-fated, insisting that Anthony Woods remains fully committed to the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court as part of President Joseph Numa Boakai Sr.'s Brother at Rest agenda for accountability, justice, and national reconciliation. The establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court is a central pillar of the government's commitment to truth, justice, and reconciliation. The statement said the National Security Advisor has consistently supported this process and would not obstruct or undermine it. The office emphasized that under Executive Order Number 131, the court operates under the supervision of the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General, not the National Security Advisor, arguing that all institutional proposals and concerns should allow established legal channels through the Justice Ministry. The statement further challenged Councillor Babu to provide concrete evidence for his allegations and report any genuine misconduct directly to the president. Allegations without specifics are unhelpful and risk undermining public confidence in an important national process, the NSA 1. That's the National Security Advisor 1. Politicizing justice. The office also accused unnamed individuals, including actors from abroad, or of orchestrating what it called a deliberate misinformation campaign aimed at distorting Wood's long-standing record on justice and accountability. But we'll leave it right there and take one more story from the front page Africa newspaper, and then we send controls to Esther. Those of you who are watching, please don't forget to drop a comment in our comment section. Please help us and share the live. Ex-Minister Pay challenges VP Cohn over conflicting concession remarks. Contradicting J&B is a question mark to this caption. Let's take a few lines from that story. Very, very important. Let's run to it and take a few lines. Former Mines and Energy Minister Wilmot Pay has taken issue with Vice President Jeremiah Pancon over what he describes as contradictory comments regarding President Joseph Boakai's policy on reviewing concession agreements in Liberia. Speaking during an appearance on State Radio EFBC on Monday, Vice President Cohn said most of Liberia's existing concessions were negotiated by previous administrations. He warned that any attempt by the current government to undo those agreements could portray the country as hostile for foreign investments. However, in a statement issued Tuesday, April 28, Pei argued that several of the vice president's remarks were not aligned with the president's stated policy position. He recalled that, contrary to Cohn's assertions, President Bouakai was unequivocal in his third annual message this year, reiterating the government's commitment to reviewing all concessions, a position he has maintained since taking office. He further noted that the president has consistently emphasized this policy during cabinet meetings, underscoring its importance to his administration's agenda. He stressed that translating this policy into action rests squarely on members of the administration, including the vice president. According to Pei, all officials entrusted with leadership responsibilities must show that their statements and actions reflect established government policy. He warned that any divergence in public pronouncements could create confusion and undermine the administration's credibility over time. I do not therefore entirely agree that everything the vice president said yesterday was cleared with the president. From yesterday's interview, it is obvious that why the president is more keen on reviewing all concessions. Vice President Cohn seems to think otherwise, at least based on his own utterances. Pitt clarified that his criticism is not intended to single out the vice president for its own sake, but to kicklight what he sees as an important policy inconsistency. He emphasized that, like President Waka, who has expressed reservations about awarding concessions to foreign companies for Liberia's non renewable resources in exchange for minimal royalties, he remains a firm believer that sovereignty without custody is meaningless. Vice President Cohen also stated that under the recently amended Mineral Development Agreement, MDA, ArcelorMittal Liberia is required to pay US 500 million annually. That's US 500,000 annually. However, Pei argued that under the previous MDA, which was set to expire in September 2030, the company paid just US 50,000 for its Class A mining license over the entire 25-year period. He further noted that a new fee structure introduced on June 10, 2025, replaced the August 13, 2010 framework, which had only 29 fee categories. According to Pei, it was under this older system that Class A license holders paid the US 50,000 fee, which was often embedded in concession agreements. Free increment Pay disclosed that the revised fee structure significantly increased mining license fees from US 10,000 to US 50,000 for Class B licenses and from US 50,000 for about US 2,000 annually to US 500,000 per year for Class A licenses during the initial production phase, rising to US 1 million annually thereafter. He argued that the amended MDA referenced by the Vice President does not appear to reflect the June 10, 2025 regulation, noting that the US 500,000 Class A license fees remain locked into the agreement. This was not the intent, Pei said. Locking up a license fee, which is a regulatory tool in concession agreements, weakens regulatory bodies and makes it difficult, if not impossible, to hold operators accountable in the future. The truth is that a country we seem to take our eyes off the ball during the final phase of the negotiation. They attributed these shortcomings to the negotiating team, stating that the government often fails to critically assess its own approach. Instead, he said officials tend to blame concession holders who exploit gaps in negotiation by presenting figures not always backed by evidence. Vice President Cohen also disclosed ongoing discussions regarding the Putu iron ore mining project. He defended the government's handling of the Putu concession, explaining that authorities moved away from a Liberian company, AMRO, after it failed to provide credible proof of financial capacity. Esther, I think I'm going to stop right here and then send controls to you to continue with the dailies, and this time around it's going to be the Inquirer newspaper. So let's hear from Esther.
Of course. Sorry, I'm just right here.
Mm,
Let's quickly go through the Inquiry newspaper. The top story here says IMF unlocks US 266 million climate facility clears fresh cash for Liberia. This is right here. IMF unlocks US 266 million climate facility clears fresh cash for Liberia. Liberia has secured a major financial boost and a strong vote of confidence from the International Monetary Fund as the fund's executive board approved a US 266 million resilience and sustainability facility arrangement while also releasing additional funds under its ongoing economic reform program. The newly approved 21-month RSF package, equivalent to SDR 9, that's 193.8 million, 193.8 million, 75% of Liberia's quota, is designed to help the country strengthen its economic defenses against climate shocks while supporting long-term resilience and sustainable growth. At the same time, the IMF completed the third review of Liberia Extended Credit Facility Program, unlocking an immediate disbursement of SDR 19.3 million, with at least uh, with this latest release, sorry, total disbursements under ECF have now reached SDR 77.2 million, approximately US 105.96 million, part of broader SDR 55 million, sorry, arrangement approved in September 24 to stabilize Liberia's economy, safeguard debt sustainability, and strengthen governance. The IMF's decision, however, continues amid continued strong economic performance. But let's leave you there. We have more stories here. Yellow Machines program risks collapse. ESOL Prexy Wonwa wants government. The president of the Engineering Society of Liberia has committed a sweeping technical analysis for constructive verdict on one of Liberia's most ambitious infrastructure initiatives, the Yellow Machines program, to the Yellow Machines Board of Directors and the Special Presidential Project Coordinating Committee. Authored by engineer David D. Wonwa, the analysis argued or urged that while the program is technically sound and strategically necessary, its success hangs precautiously on one decisive factor: management, not machinery. Launched in May 2024 under President Joseph Boaká's infrastructure agenda, the program involved the acquisition of 285 pieces of heavy-duty moving equipment to tackle Liberia's sprawling 13,000 kilometers of on that's underpaved roads. Initially hailed as a transformative solution to chronic road inaccessibility, the initiative quickly became mired in controversy. Early phases were plagued by what the report described as a series of ops movements ranging from alleged procurement irregularities an opaque gentleman's agreement to conflicting price estimates that swung from US 85 million to US 22 million. Also, a failed first batch delivered in 2024 where 35 machines were returned without payment, further deepened public skepticism. Now, in 2026, the program has begun or has been reconstructed with over 137 machines delivered and new governance bodies, Yamboa and SPPCC fully established, yet engineer Wondwa cautioned that Liberia has merely transitioned from a political controversy into a far more uh, economic expanded by 1.1% in 2025. Well, let's leave you here and take more stories. Mondale, dangerous contradictions, pay rips into VP Coon's interview on resource policy. This is also right here. Let's jump to the back page of this paper. Indictments move Liberia closer to receiving millions. Arab chairman asserts. The head of the Arrest Recovery and Property Retrieval Task Force, Edwin Clark Martin, says recent indictments have brought Liberia a step closer to recovering millions of United States dollars and Liberian dollars in public funds. Speaking on OKFM Morning Watch, the chairman said the task force has brought four major cases under indictment involving more than 74 individuals and over US 10 million, along with roughly 890 million in public resources alleged to have been misused. He said moving these cases to court marks a critical shift from investigation to accountability. These are not just allegations anymore. They are now before the courts, and that is what makes recovery possible, he noted. The chairman described the indictment as a major achievement, noting that they provide a legal basis for pursuing restitution. Following trials of cases that are before the court, he said authorities can begin processes such as asset tracing, freezing of accounts, and eventual recovery through court orders. For Liberia, he said this represents more than the possibility of retrieving funds. It signals a system where public resources are protected and misuse carries consequences. He noted that the approach is essential to restoring confidence in public institutions and ensuring that funds meant for development are not lost. Addressing criticism that the task force has focused too heavily on indictments, Councillor Martin says such views ignore how the law works. He explained that indictments are not the end of the process, but a step that makes recovery achievable. You cannot recover what has been placed before the court. What has not been placed before the court. Indictment is what allows the law to act in tune. He also clarified that once indictments are filed, it is the court that determines when cases are heard and how they proceed. Our role is to investigate and present strong cases. From there, the court has the authority to decide the pace and process, Councillor Martin stated. Where the chairman noted that all four cases are now within the judicial system, placing them on path towards possible recovery, assuring that the task force remains ready to proceed whenever the courts call the matters for hearing. In a further development, Chairman Martin disclosed that the task force has filed a matter before a British court in connection with approximately US 10 million under investigation. The step, he said, is intended to allow the pursuit of individuals or assets that may be located outside Liberia. This ensures that our efforts to recover public money are not limited to Liberia alone, he said, while highlighting the chairman emphasized that the work is ongoing. As investigations continue and additional indictments will follow where evidence supports them. We will continue to investigate and indict anyone found to have illegally acquired state resources, he said. He ended with a call for public support, urging citizens to remain engaged as the process unfolds. We ask Liberians to continue supporting this work. We remain committed to ensuring that those involved are prosecuted and that public access are retrieved in accordance with the law, he added. But let's look at our final story on the back page of this paper. We have the government, Japan, UN unite to strengthen Liberia's education system. Well, let's take some learns from this. It says the Ministry of Education, in partnership with the government of Japan and United Nations agencies, has officially launched the 2025 Japan Supplementary Budget projects, making a significant step towards strengthening education and social services across the country. The initiative reflects a coordinated multi-sectorial approach aligned with Pillar 6 of the IRS agenda for inclusive development. By integrating education, health, gender protection, and water sanitation and hygiene, the program acknowledges the interconnected challenges faced by children and communities in Liberia. Delivering a keynote address at the launch, Minister of Education Jaso Jala stressed that improving learning outcomes requires more than classroom instruction. She noted that student attendance, well being, safety, and access to basic services all play a critical role in ensuring schools function effectively. Education does not happen in isolation. The minister said, if we are to see meaningful improvements, we must address the full environment in which children learn. Dr. Jala also highlighted the ministry's ongoing efforts to strengthen monitoring and accountability systems. Central to this effort, the use of digital supervision tools supported by geoforensic data, which will enable more precise identification of gaps and faster responses to challenges in schools nationwide. The ministry reaffirmed its commitment to aligning donor supported initiatives with national systems, emphasizing the importance of building institutional capacity and ensuring long term sustainability. Development partners, including UNICEF, UNFPA, and UN Women, reiterated their support and initiative. They emphasized the importance of coordinated implementation in promoting inclusive education, advancing gender equality, and strengthening community resilience. The launch signals a renewed commitment among government and partners to deliver integrated solutions that improve both educational outcomes and broader well-being of children across Liberia. Well, Wendell, this is all we can take from the Inquirer newspaper. Let's say controls back to you.
Thank you, there, Esther Daco. Thank you very much for that reading. Something I want to read here quickly. Let me see what I can get this. Okay, something I want to read. Okay, let's see. I hope I can. I hope it is here. I hope it is here. Oh, ho, ho. Okay. All right. But anyway, let's continue. Let's recap those stories we brought to you this morning, and we'll take our break. I hope I can see that and come back with it before we leave from here. Well, folks, thank you very much for being there, listening to all of the reading from trending stories in our country. Let's recap for you, those of you just joining us. These are the stories we brought you this morning. First, we begin with the front page Africa. Top stories, it says, I have no idea what will happen. Missing files, missing justice. One case shows how dysfunctional police and justice systems are falling rape victims, and questioning integrity of corruption probe. Defense witness for challenges prosecution's core claims in national security funds trial. The disputes FIA timeline in joint security role. And it says National Security Advisor fires back at Office of the War Crimes Court Chief, denies sabotage claims, warns against misinformation campaign, false, unfounded, and ill-fated. Lastly, for the front page, Africa ex-minister, that's ex-mines and energy minister Wilmot Page challenges VP Kuhn over conflicting concession remarks. And lastly, contradicting JMB is a question mark to that. That does it for the front page Africa. Let's run to the Inquirer newspaper that was read by Esther. IMF unlocks US 266 million climate facility clears fresh cash for Liberia. And Yellow Machine program risks collapse. ESO El Prexi Wonwa warns government. And lastly, for the front page, dangerous contradictions. Pay rips into BP Cohn's interview on resource policy. The back page, indictments move Liberia closer to recovering millions. Who is saying this? Claire Martin, Arab chairman, made that statement. Government, Japan, UN unite to strengthen Liberia's education system. And folks, those are all the stories we got to share with you on this edition of the show. Let's take our break. Let's get word from our sponsors. When we come back, we will join our man Aliyu Masaleh. I don't know what is going on with our weather report man today. Okay, we just can't have our weather report man. We haven't seen him yet. Let's see whether he can squeeze in before we leave here. But for now, our weather report man is not around. So let's take word from our sponsors and be right back.
We want peace in Liberia, peace in Mauritania.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the sort of vigilante style justice in this country, none of us will be saved. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we have seen in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Science, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Science.
We want peace in Liberia, peace in Mauritania.
Robbie, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh no, Charles, tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
He said, when you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, I'm going to 20 for putting thought to each chicken.
Thank you there for rejoining us. Now, folks, we are about to cross over to our man Aliyu Masaleh. Like I said, our weather report man is not in yet. So, Aliyu, let's have you on. And yeah, you're part of the, your side of the story we read this morning. So you can take controls.
Thank you, Mr. Neiman. Thank you, Esther. Yes, I listened to the story. Yes, and but the first thing, this war can cause something. Like I said before, and I will always say for me, I'm more interested in the economic crime code than this war crime code because we have people when they come to power, they steal our country money to evade themselves, and at the end of the day, they go free. So I think for me, I'm interested in the economic code where it will be able to set precedent that if you see Aliyu Masale in jail for 10, 15 years because he was a minister, and then when you come in that position, you will be in check. Because when you hear my name or when you think about me, you will know where I'm at and you know what led me to that place. This whole worker coaching whole day they used to be talking, oh, they coming to build place in Ghana, they coming to do this. Separate Johnson that. What are we hearing? So that whole worker coaching, let they just dissolve that thing and put that money somewhere that will benefit the Liberian people because this government is not going to do anything on worker code to say they coming to persecute people. It's just another waste. They will just get our people over there to be taking salary that they own a political reward. But nothing going to happen when it comes to worker code. So for me, I'm not interested in that thing because those people you even catch them, you put them in jail, whatsoever you do is not going to bring back the lives of those that die. You went Ghana, you had your discussion there. Man, I said, yeah, our country for 12 years. Nothing happened. Those people were still there. George, we had 6 years. Those people were still there. Our country is okay. We are gullible people. Let it be. The only thing is we should put ourselves in a position that we will not go back to what led or to the 14 years that today we still want to be talking about work and code. We just need to conduct ourselves in an orderly manner. But again, my condolences to every one of us that lost our families, our loved ones, and whosoever our during the war. Let it be and focus on moving our country forward. This issue between the former mine minister and that of the vice president, um, you were just talking about the president always talking about visiting concession agreement, this, that, and what have you. And these are some of the things I believe that Mr. Boakai, if he really meant what he said, he could do better when it comes to that. Because yesterday he was the vice president, he was the president of the Senate. He sat there because at that time we just came from the war when he and Mara said he took over. All these concessions you see in the country today, 95% was signed during their administration, the 12-year period they served for. But he said he was an old car parking in the garage. But he was signatory to this concessions agreement that went on. And what we expect of him today is to change some of these things. Because he said he was an old car. Probably he was sleeping and signing. So he never knew why he was signing, like what happening today. You see legislature, they just sign. You see people, they just sign in that country. They don't even know why they're signing. Because they don't know what they are there for. So probably Bwaka was just sitting over there. He never knew what he was doing. He was just signing those concessions without even reviewing them. And today you are a president now. You are no more in the garage. You're in the driver's seat. What are you doing about this concession? Look at Asla meter, working a meter in Lima County there, where our brothers and sisters, our citizens, we the Liberian, we are still sleeping in tanks and tea. But Bwaka went there, he praised the people. And because he knew they were coming to gain 200 million for them to put in a $1.2 billion budget, and then they bring it back. They take it from there because whenever they pass budget, 95% go back to them and 5% go to Liberian people. So he went there, he praised them, and why we expected him to review that concession to see how they could change something that will impact the lives of the Liberians and the people within the market. He never did nothing about it. He extended them to another 25 years, all because they coming to give them 200 million. And I wonder the useless thing our government they should stop doing by giving people this kind of long concession years. Why should you be signing 25 years that even when another government can, there is nothing they can do about it? They will just say, oh, our people are 25 years, let's just forget it now. Let it be there. We have to put stop to that nonsense. If you empower for 6 years, when you want some concession, concession for the 6 years you empower for, or 10 years, that's okay. But the long signing concession is not taking our country nowhere but into poverty. Look at today. The free port of Monrovia, it was under the watch of Baka and Elin. They went to get that place to APN terminal. See how the country is looking today. We don't even have full control over our own port. When we send container to that place, those were some of the things that Baka said. When he became president, we will never ever hear about CTN and Meta because George Weah had share in those companies and they were there exploiting the Liberian people. When we sell container in the country, the money was just so high because George Weah was getting share from this company. Today, where is Meta? Where is CTN? They are still in the port. We still paying money to them. There's a woman who were country, they rejected her. They said no. You can't bring that foolishness here. She said, okay, I will go to Liberia. They accepted her there. Why are we still hearing or seeing CTN and Meta in the country? Like we shipping containers from here to Liberia, we still paying money to Meta and CTN. And those were some of the things saying the moment you take over, that will be the end of CTN and Meta. You see? So this concession that that in the country, they are making no impact on the lives of the Liberian people, and they were under the watch of Bakai, that those things were signed, and today he's now a president. He's no more of Oka back in the garage. What is he doing to revisit this concession, to do some changes, some amendments, so it can be in the best interest of the Liberian people? If he really meant well of why he said to come and rescue the people. You see, so this is the same vice president that is now putting our citizens in harm's way. The people, they just speak loosely, recklessly, and irresponsibly. And you will say, with the exception of the army, we can get 3 men that can go in any country and destabilize the whole town or city. Look at that kind of statement coming from a certain vice president. See how irresponsible and reckless it is. But again, the president does the same thing. Children learn from their fathers. We have to be very careful. Those concessions in the country, they are making no impact in the lives of we, the Liberian people. So, Baka, you really need to do, you still have more years. Like for me, I think the only thing I can grade this government on now is like, yes, when it comes to, well, what is he say? Yeah, the continuity of project, yes, I will grade them. And when it comes to drugs, yes, President Baka, he's doing extremely well. Yes, they crack down on drugs the way those horrible things that we used to see our brothers and sisters. I think these are the 2 things I will appreciate him for. He's doing well. So that just my take there this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leo Masale. Thank you ever so much for, giving us yourself the stories we read this morning. Is 8 minutes pushing up to midday, and we have with us our weather report man, Solomon Tunis. So let's leave the shores of Liberia once again and send controls back to our man Tunis to run us through the weather report for today. So Tunis, good morning from Liberia.
Good morning, Wendell. Good morning, Esther, Aliyu, Mama Liberia. Assalamu alaikum to brothers and sisters. I was getting a little bit late. I didn't sleep last night. I didn't sleep too soon. I slept very late because. But I'm still here.
Because of your homework.
I wish I have a homework to do. Okay, guys. As it is right now in Monrovia, we're already approaching midday, so the rest of the day is going to be cloudy. A little bit cloudy, and you might see the sun, but it's going to forget about the heat. The heat, but you're going to get it anyway. And the wind is percentage is very low. It's about 4 miles per hour. So the wind is it's not really that kind of way for you to feel it. But the heat is extremely 77 right now. Average is 80. And as the day go by and the night fall, it's going to go up to 92. So be prepared for the heat. and it's going to be cloudy. You right now the sun going to go down a little bit. It might rain, but do not. Some part of the rain, some part of the day, it might rain because some part of the day around 2 p.m. if to 3 o'clock it's about 60 degree, 60% rather that in that area. So certain time in the day it might rain heavily, but that rain will subside and it will continue cloudy. But before the nightfall, you might see a gist of the sun again. Before the nightfall to 7 o'clock, the sun might come out again to say goodbye, and then that's it. Tomorrow, Thursday, is going to be all day sun, partly sunny, all day. You might get a little bit of rain in the afternoon, and that rain might be heavy, but it won't last. Little bit around 3, 4, 5 o'clock, the evening hour, probably when you are coming back from work, that rush hour time. And we go to Friday. Friday, heavy sun. It's going to be heavy sun. But let me go back to Thursday and tell you about the heat again. The heat is definitely look. Even if I don't talk about the heat, just know that it's going to be hot because there's no lower number here when it comes to the heat. The average is 80. Today the average is 80. Tomorrow and it's going as the nightfall is going to go up to 93. So that's it. And the wind is very still. It's not really kind of heavy wind. It's only 6 miles per hour. Can you imagine 6 miles per hour? What kind of wind is that? It can cool you down. You know, even if you are close to the ocean breeze will not even satisfy you. You know, so all of these things, if the breeze was blowing, then at least the heat was subside. But thank God, on Thursday, it's 60% um, of a rain. So in some part of the day, it might rain. Okay, Thursday, Friday is heavy sun, man. The sun is heavy, even though it's a 40% of rain, but that rain, it's way in the evening. And that evening hour, it may not even rain, it might just sound like the sun will just go in the cloud for a minute and then come back out. If it rains, so be it, you know, but a heavy sun these few days from now to tomorrow to day after tomorrow, which is Friday, it's heavy sun. So over the weekend, we'll give you the report for over the weekend tomorrow on Thursday. But let us stay for now and enjoy your heat. And be when the heat like this, be very careful with the homework before you hurt yourself because some people they can be doing the homework and something else happen. You know, like what happened to me last night, I overslept. So that's it, my brother.
Thank you very much.
So we should enjoy the heat. Like as how?
Oh, you can enjoy the heat. I mean, some people like anything bad or good. Some people don't enjoy it. During the war, a lot of people got rich during our civil war, even though it was not anything good for us. Like 250 plus died, but a lot of people still want that war to come back so they can enrich themselves. So that is there, my sister, my little niece. Life is not what everybody think. People think different. Why are you thinking the other way? Let me send control back to you.
Thank you very much, Suleiman Tunis. Thank you for running us through the weather report. You know, Esther just went out there to confirm what you just read about, you know, the sun. And she came back in the studio. Oh, when it's blazing out there. I said, well, when we're coming in the studio, you didn't see the sun.
No, the sun was really shining. This morning the rain fell heavy.
Yeah.
But don't mind that sun right now. As time goes on in the going to the afternoon, early afternoon, like 2 o'clock, then that sun will go away.
Yeah, it's go away definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, it was good that the rain fell this morning. And, you know, because Esther, for us who live across the bridge, because of the road construction that is currently ongoing, you know, the dust. So every time we see the rain, some of us would celebrate the rain because it's going to take away the dust. Okay. So, folks, you heard from Aliyu Masaleh, you heard from Tunis about the weather report, the contradiction from the vice president and his boss, you know, relative to the mining sector in our country. You know, too many things. And I was just reading something about The president lied about taking 6-man delegation to the United States, and we've been told the figure is 30 persons that went with the president. All right, including his son. All right, we're all on the trip to the United States with the president. I'm told he's going to receive some award called I don't know, the Tomato Award or what kind of award is that? Well, this is our country, folks. Things are happening in our country. The disrespect in the rule of law, the breakdown, in the rule of law, the way the government is proceeding. You're listening to the big mouth from the Cloud Martin man who has the rep that Liberia is close to recovering millions. I don't know whether Liberia got the sophistication. And Esther, like Aliyu said, this war crime thing, again, let me use this time to again extend our deepest condolences to all of us who lost family and friends. People, parents died. People couldn't identify their children up to present. So too many things happening in the war that people who were victim of the war are saying that justice should prevail. But we are hearing that the war crime code is not being supported financially by this government. Since $800,000 was given to them, they are yet to receive the balance of the $2 million that was promised to the office. So the current head of the War and Economic Crimes Court Office, Jala Babu, is accusing some key figures in the government, including the legal advisor to the president, the national security advisor to the president, the minister of justice, about the way they are sabotaging the work of the courts. So, I mean, let's hear from our people. Maybe Tunis want to chip in a little bit. Maybe a minute or two from Tunis would do, and then we can go to the phone lines and hear from our people. So, Tunis, do you have anything to chip in? Let's hear from you quickly in the next 2 minutes. Then we can take calls on our show.
Yeah, thank you so much, my brother. I just want to buttress what our brother from Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, Marcelo, touch on about the drugs that they're doing well. The government is doing well when it comes to drug trafficking in Liberia. I don't want to agree to that, even though he might be saying what he experiencing right now. But I believe the government know how to cover their butt right now when it comes to drugs trafficking. Okay, they are not doing well. They know how to cover their act, what they're doing now. Because the drugs still in Liberia, our children still on drugs, and the number is still increasing every day. Okay, if you go to every ghetto, you will see new member, and the same old member still there. The rehabilitation not working. So definitely, Wendell and Esther, my belief is the government know how to cover their thing they're doing. They now know that what they were doing before, it was more exposed. So they know how to cover their wrongdoing. So the drugs still coming in Liberia that have never been curtailed yet. And I don't want to say that I give them any credit until I see improvement, until I see our children out of the ghetto. The ghettos are well empty, and then I will give them the praise that they deserve. But as of now, I know there are a lot of drugs coming through Liberia, through the airport, through the borderline, all those places. Even where they're closing, they're getting occupied. All of those places just coming through there. Okay? And it's coming through their government, the very government that we're praising that they are doing good. So that's my take. Thank you. Let me send control back to you.
Thank you. So this is what I wanted to chip in. We see it says exposed with evidence. President Bouaka lied about 6 delegates. He carried nearly $30 delegates, including his son Jojo Boakai, for a Tomato Award in America. Images from the trip revealed that the president was accompanied by a much larger entourage, nearly 30 individuals, many of whom have no justifiable state function tied to the purpose of the visit. Those reportedly present include, all right, let me see the names. One, it says Joseph N. Boakai Jr., son of the president and self-styled president. Two, Kulabi Fofana, presidential press secretary. Three, Antonin Kesseley, deputy minister of state. Four, Fabien Michael Lyon, local president. Five, George Marshall, assistant minister for special services, Ministry of State. Six, Dr. Augustine Corner, senior advisor to the president. Seven, more than five special aides. Eight, more than three media correspondents. Nine, Massa Sobo, assistant minister for resources for and 10, Terrence T.C. Woods, special aide. 11, Rep. Emmanuel Dan, district number 7, Montserrado County representative. So these are individuals that, accompanying the president to the United States of America. Initially, it was posted 6 persons. Now we see up to 11 names, and we've been told that they are up to 30 persons. But let's hear from our people. Let's go to the phone lines. But before we go to the lines, Esther, just run us through the comments quickly. All right? Let's take some comments.
Well, for the comment section, but when just before we go to the comment section, I just want to,
Go ahead,
say
Mom.
something quickly because, this is really weighing down on me. I've been
You want to
following.
let the cat out.
Well, not really letting cat out. It's just about how I feel about what's happening in South Africa, with
Okay.
blacks being chased, being beaten,
Even in Ghana.
then yeah, Ghana, of course. Right. But I think Ghana won't have subsided for a while because they are also being chased in South Africa. And so I feel like how can South Africa be a member of the African Union or the African Unity and then such a thing be happening? It is really sad for Africa that Africans will, go that low, thinking that foreigners are the reasons why they have issues in their country. And I was just reflecting on what Liberia is. This is one of the things that we are not involved with. When the Liberians are very peaceful people, we open our arms to everybody, and it's a good thing for us. And I just wanted to let this out
We'll
because
be
I
peaceful every
feel
time.
so
Be
bad.
putting our head to eat.
I feel so bad of the fact that people are being chased.
Mm.
There's a process. If you do not want a specific tribe or a specific national in your country, there is a way to do it. Every country has a law. When there is a law everywhere. If your law say that people should foreigners should not enter your country, why are they in your country in the first place? But because there's no law for that and the citizens want these people out, they just use whatever power they feel they have, chase these people, burn their stores down, beat them up, and all of that. That's what's happening there now, which is a really, really sad thing. I've been following since yesterday, and
It's
I
sad,
mean,
though. It's sad.
it
And
is what it
mhm,
is. If there are illegal immigrants in your country, they should be arrested and deported. That's what I know.
yeah.
But going to as
People
far
who
as
are living in your country
going to their
legally,
stores,
yeah,
burning,
burning
even
down,
if they are
destroying their
showing you their
properties.
papers that they are here legally,
And, I don't know
some of
why.
them are business owners. They are not even employed by you.
Mhm.
But one of the one that really broke my heart was the one where around the school vicinity window they were putting children out of school who are not South Africans. They will enter if you are even to the hospitals. If you are
It's so
not a South
sad.
African, you should wake up and get up, go to another hospital. Their hospital is for South Africans only.
Mm.
I mean, can you imagine? Why if I
And
live
this
in
is
your
sad.
country and I'm contributing to your country economy?
This is sad.
I have
And
my business running. I'm not depending on how you call on your jobs.
and
But again, when there are only poor people can think this way.
mm,
I don't believe that South Africans who are busy with their lives, when working for their money or making money
will get
through
himself involved with that.
exactly. So it
Hmm.
is always those who don't want to do nothing. They just
Exactly.
want to be lazy. at the end of the day, they complain that
You,
foreigners are taking their
the
jobs and
jobs and
all of
all of
that.
that. And Esther, let me just add up to what you just said. During the days of apartheid
Mm-hmm.
in South Africa, there were a lot of
Oh,
South
they have forgotten
Africans.
so soon.
There were a lot of South Africans in this country, and they flew to other countries,
Of course.
to seek refuge
Mm-hmm.
because when the whites were after the blacks, they all came here.
He said,
They
South
live here peace.
Africa is for South
So
Africans.
yeah,
Go to your
no,
countries.
but
Like,
the
I
thing
mean,
is, that's why I love the song of Peter Tosh.
wow.
No matter your color, as long as you are black man, consider yourself an African. All right. So why are we going after our own? I
It's
mean, it's
sad.
sad. Well, you
It's really
see,
sad.
look at the way the Ghanaian guy was being questioned. I mean, after providing them all of the information,
Right. Go
look
to
at
your
what they said to
country.
him at
What's
last.
happening there?
As we speak, I know a guy who live in this country right now. He's a personal friend of mine. He's a South African. He live here. He been here all this while. And I mean, we can give you names of people that live here. The Mario Makiba today, the Hugh Masakila, just name a few that seek refuge in this country. So the way that South Africans are proceeding with other foreign nationals, I mean, it's sad for and
The
you see Ghanaians too. The Ghanaians part, they are just that kind of selfish people.
yeah, we know that.
They look, how many
Yeah.
times Ghanaians have deported Liberians? One last you heard Liberians deporting bulk of
And a couple of
I
months
mean,
back, they took to the street and asked Nigerians, Liberians to leave.
yeah, because you know why?
And they're getting angry at South
No.
Africans for telling them to
Mm,
leave
believe
too.
too, man. It's sad.
Very-
But let's take our
it's
comments and
interesting
take a few
though.
calls and go home.
But it is what it is, and it's sad for people calling for African unity, and this is
This
happening.
is happening.
I mean, if we cannot embrace ourselves, how can women embrace us?
So the people that were fighting for Africa to be one, those people are no longer alive. So you see how Africa is going now? Yeah, man. It's sad for us. Oh,
I
it's
bet
so
Mandela
bad.
is standing around his grave.
See, look at what my people are doing to blacks.
Interesting.
Their own color. We're not preaching racism here, but
I believe
it's a
I
reality.
believe they are not doing history in their country, because if you know the history of how South Africa became independent, with all the involvement other African nations did and all of that, they wouldn't be doing so. But let's come to our comment section. We have Estelle MG Play. She says, "Good morning. I'm watching from Barnesville Junction." We have Venetia's Junior Bar. He says, "I'm following the birth of Newtown." Venetia's Bar again says, "We are coming back 2029." Ezekiel Newman Johnson says, "Good morning. Following from Chicken Soup Factory. Thank you for the update." We have Mary White. She says, "Good morning. I'm following from Lakpasi Zoo." And we have Pico. He says, good morning, guys. I'm following. Mati Cholople says, "Good morning, Freedom FM." We have Honorable Papi Success Keita. He says, "Good morning, Freedom FM." Duper Road. From Duper Road, we have Setu B. Jabo. Says, "Good morning to my good people. Never Die Sedition following from Kanga Town, Johnsonville." We have Henry T. Tour Jr. He says, "Good morning, Freedom FM and the Radio LIB crew of Staten Island, New York City. With our weather report, Mayor Uncle Tunis, I am following you from my residence in Caldwell. Thanks for the update." We have Gay Caesar Divine Grace Bryson Jr. He says, "Good morning, guys. I'm following from Barnesville, Gebar." We have Masa F. Boy. "Good morning, family. I'm watching from Grand Creek County. Mohammed Mariam J. Sharif. I'm watching from Mamati Diakite Intellectual Forum in Jacobtown Community. Masale S. Abraham. Good morning. I'm watching live from the compound of View Mountain in Kenjor." We have Masale S. Abraham. He says, "Good morning. I'm following live from the compound of View Mountain, Kenjor." Okay, that's the same comments. Reading several times. We have Augustine Gavelaw. He says, "Good afternoon, Freedom FM. Following live from Delaware, USA." We have Chris Goopy. He says, "Good morning, family. I'm watching from Grand Creek County." Jiba Kamara says, "Good afternoon to my Freedom FM family watching." Peter Lim Peter says, "Following from Popo N in Congo Town as a vice chairperson of the concerned Liberian for justice. And I'm following from, okay, it's the same comment. But let's keep coming down to more comments we have here. We have Abraham and Addison. He says, good morning, Freedom FM family. I'm following from a comfortable residence somewhere in North America. We have Hezekiah Dodo. He says, good morning, our Freedom FM family. I'm watching from District 17, Broadville City, Christopolis community, Tear Street to be specific. My concern has to do with food security aid from a farming group in Japan. This deal is not a perfect one for our country, Liberia. Furthermore, what's the function of the used machine that was purchased from the taxes or taxpayers' money? We can use these machines to provide food for ourselves as a country. There's there's a better to teach a man how to fish, I think. And Clarence Dwyer says, good morning, Winter and Esther. I'm following this morning from my legal hustle ground in Morovia. Stanley Sharif says he's watching from Broadville City. Joy Blaze says, good morning, following live. And Matty Cholope says, I have serious problem with VP Coon's statement he made on ELBC saying that apart from the AFL soldiers, Liberia have fighter forces that can go to any country and overtake cities. My question to VP Coon, who are those fighters forces he's talking about? Joe Play says greetings. Okay, we've already read that. And Clarence Dwyer says the establishment of war crime court by this nonsense administration was intended to kill Prince Johnson only. PYJ is no more, so there's no reason for the establishment of a court. If anyone thinks Joseph Baga will not establish anything like economic crime court, he or she might be a daydreamer. Joseph Baga himself is an experienced sorrowful criminal. And Alexa Mobile says, good morning, guys. I'm watching from Burrville. We have Usman Manchester. So he says, good morning, Freedom FM. Closely following from a District 16 of New Good Town. We have, Poker Robert says, good afternoon, my great undisputed Freedom FM family. We have Christian Twister Roberto Slobber says, good afternoon, Freedom FM. I'm watching from my home in Caldwell, New Georgia. North Row, we are 29. Nothing can stop it, not even any goal. Poker Robert says, thanks so kindly for the great work doing for our beloved country. And Poker says he's watching from his unknown destination. This afternoon, we have Chris Slobber again says, good afternoon. Okay, we will not read again. And I think he wants to say eating a dog. He was correcting himself. Good afternoon, Freedom FM. I'm watching from my home in Caldwell, New Georgia, North Road. This afternoon, we are 29 for sure. Nothing can stop it, not even a dog. And Poker says, President George, we are coming back to the presidency, a show and see you. Trust me, Sister Esther and Big Brother Wendell, that war crime code is a big flaw. We will stop here, Wendell. Let's stop here. And
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Esther, for running us through the comments. It's time to hear from you, our people. We have 12 more minutes to go. And so let's make use of the 12 more minutes we have. Maybe 10 calls will do or less than that. So let's take you as our first caller. Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I call for Down Coast Hill, White community, and a member of the Concerned Liberian for Justice. Look, when they're in my mind, yeah, this whole thing about the war crime code, Joseph Newman Boaka and a man who they tried to get as Prince Johnson. Now that Prince Johnson is no more, Joe Newman Boaka will back down, and there will be nothing in the war crime code. That's why you are seeing people who advocated yesterday, like Whoopi Wolves, is obstructing justice today, is mind-boggling. When this too is Liberia, and we always say thank you, President. We are allowed to see what we are saying. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Spencer Mohammed. Let's talk to this person. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, we lost that caller. Let's come to this line. Let's talk to you, this person. Good afternoon. Yes. Okay, go ahead. You have a minute. Let's hear you.
Yeah, you see, while the president and the vice president, they told you why they are doing war crime.
Mm.
War crime. They want for something to happen to feel that because of this, you feel like because you already feel. You get anything to show. Nothing you get to show. They get wasting our resources. What is also say? So, if you wait.
Okay. Thank you. Your line is kind of broken, but we got you. Thank you for your contribution. Let's take this person here. Hello.
Yeah. How are you, Winter?
We are doing just good. Thank you for asking. What's your name and where you join us from?
So this when I'm only know I'm hearing. So I'm hearing
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
I come from Thursday. So when the issue of the walking post have been over. And one thing that everybody know is that will cancel them on the list of Liberia. They will cancel them, they will go down. And the vice president, according to what the vice president said, so they understand that they need to go to war. So at the same time telling us they are negotiating. If you think people are standing back, why reminding the Liberian people when you already say you're going for negotiation to arrange with people and you say you have people standing back. So all of these things we need not to talk about them. Let's do the right thing and do what President Weah is coming back to say nothing. The only thing about President Weah, I'm sorry for him, after the government, you will work hard. You will have to work hard. You will again blame because the poor loot the country. You will do all kinds of things. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's take another person. Let's talk to you. Hello to this caller. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Brother William.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, let me say good afternoon to Esther. Esther, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Yeah, and let me also say watch out to Ali Masale in the U.S. This is the voice of Sabu Rasta. I am a proud member of the Concerned Librarian for Justice. So, when you stand for justice, you will not put a belly in the wheelbarrow for Joseph Walker to use you around. We beat all we are there, we say, oh, man, bring a walker, bring a walker. So, yesterday, they promised us that you will bring a walker, you will do it. Even when you become president, the first thing that was the promise he made to us. Because Liberia was abused. Liberia was abandoned. The way I was representing all of us, he told us, he said, well, I'll come back. My people, I will bring a walker, I thought for this reason, when I hear stuff for men are born again, not to be able to say, you might want to, was that allowed to us? Because we stand for justice, we will always stand for the truth. We will make sure we say the truth. Because God said, we will say the truth, we will say the truth, she will set us free. When let me commend you this morning, and let me commend everybody on the freedom show. Because we know what you do for all you cause, we know God can pay you. Right, and you can fast about it as you play by your pen. And they are no one, yeah, you just, they are no one.
Anyi po na on BCA. Thank you very much, Sabu Rasta. Let's talk to this person. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Daniel.
Yeah, Patience, welcome to the show. Let's hear you.
I'm Patience, recording from the morning from Tell Africa. There's a delay. You know why you walk around? If President we are on part of the war, but now we're gonna fast track the war. You know the people, if President we are part of the war, no time in a fast track it, but President we are there, they will never go and think about this.
Thank you, Patience. Let's talk to this person. Hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Winner. How you doing?
I'm fine. Welcome to the show. Let's hear you.
Yeah, let me say hi to Esther and I don't know that my father over there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Edmond Carr, and I'm the vice chair for political affairs concern Liberian for Justice.
Okay. Congratulations on your preferment.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Edmund.
You know, the whole thing that is playing around our war crime code, because Waka and the official are in the know that if established, I don't care how long you will haul other people, government official into corruption, even a time will come. When he leave the scene, that code will still be here. The owner official, including himself, will be dragged to that code. So that is one of the reasons why the tussle between the justice minister and the current chair for the World Crime Court. Because they know that that's why they are only dragging past government officials today. When they leave the scene, their own time will come. So if the fence has not done to a pass it will go after them tomorrow. And then the issue of the World Crime Court, they want us to believe that the whole thing about the World Crime Court is only intended for one person, Prince Johnson. But our own disappointment is with the Nima County people. They sat there and allowed Joe Walker to make it to appear as if he was serious about World Crime Court. And then he brought for a World Crime Court some of his supporters that they belong. They harassed Mr. Johnson. The tape are there. And he left off. And then they are sitting there. They say actually they are in collaboration with Walker and allow the whole World Crime Court to die. Why are they doing as a Nehemiah? Why are they doing as a Tennessee? Okay. They should be standing up, telling the government, we want for you to push the thing, because we still have more warlords here that need to face justice. They are here. They are not even regretting their action that they did in the past. But the whole issue about World Crime is not there. When you talk about no money, you got $1.2 billion. You just submitted additional 45 plus 80 million, which is $53 million. So you say no money? Money, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Edmund. Let's squeeze in 2 more calls and then we go home. Hello?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, good morning.
We okay. Go ahead.
Oh, my brother, let me tell you something. You wait for the... Hello?
We are listening. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. You know, the that they had nothing to do because, you know, they use the same World on Prince Johnson and today they kill Prince Johnson. So that I think after we really care about that World Code. But we can say that it comes only to the now. We want me to get the government out. Because the government always feel like bring people. So thank you, bro.
Thank you. Let's take you. This person. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Windia.
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, this is mine. You know, I'm coming from the course.
Welcome to the
show. Yeah, and they were up there. Hello, why are you coming on?
Yeah, we're okay, Mahelena. Let's hear you.
Yeah. You walk back home without me. We finished already. The other night, we were going to say that feel cool. That feel cool. But I want to say happy. You know now. So nobody will not bother themselves. One is inside. One is inside. All the other people they say, you know, all inside. What they wanted, I want happy. And then, already, the killing people and us, we see something like a conflict. Past president called killing me. In a speech you are speaking over EFDC. Then you change it, you say, we can get for 3 parties and that to go to different countries or town in any kind of other country to go fight. Is that something with that? We inside a talk about what will be with us, what we can in the country, everything will be all right. In Jesus' mighty name.
Amen. Thank you, Mahelena. And let's squeeze you in. Let's give this person a bonus. Let me squeeze this person. Let's squeeze you in. Hello?
Oh, thank you very much for giving me worship.
No time. Let's hear you quickly. Poka, beg you, please. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thank you because
mm-hmm.
Well, it will be the first time we come from a new destination. Yeah.
call you now from the SAT, the construction SAT of the Market Congress for Democratic Change, where you have the president of the Excellency, President Jalaket, George Mana Developmental Oriented WIA, is on the ground now to receive, or to bank to receive, or to observe and to monitor the construction SAT, and also to receive a huge donation that is going on from diaspora Liberian and diaspora Egyptian. But I tell you now, the whole place is a gigantic thing. Or you see the smash on the Excellency, our construction, our building is going on gigantically. Our construction is really moving forward, and also our physician in our Liberian is to let people overwhelmingly to see their party headquarters to be free, to be finished. So it tell you that physician is not only focus on the structure that was just put aside, but focus on the building of their country, and they focus on the extensive of what belongs to the Liberian people when it comes to building human capacity, and also building gigantic structure for the fellow Liberian. But we can finish, or when you finish now, that's why you can take a toilet. It's not easy now.
Okay, Poga, let's leave it right there. We ain't got no time. Let's go to Aliyu. Aliyu, just take a minute. Let's go home. Aliyu, are you there?
Yeah, Mr. Nime, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the problem, thanks to the caller, like I was saying, for me, this government, the way we used to see people all in the street, drugs, this and that, this I think we are not seeing again. As for me, I'm not seeing, like Rotuni said, or the people, they know how to cover their butt. If that is how they do it, then that's cool. But the way in which they were looking at our brothers and sisters in the street, it was just looking that kind of way. It was so horrible. And if they are covering their butt, then they are doing a great job. And that's why we want to see, instead of our country just being like that, seeing people, young people, all in the street taking drugs, this and that. For me, I appreciate them the way in which they are covering their butt. I think it's okay like that. So we can see tomorrow. God bless America. God bless that. Mr. Dimle, Kale work the money. Kale work. You see the work I'm doing the money.
When it counts, when it counts, we go.
Okay, then have a nice day. Esther, be safe out there.
Good, man. Thank you so much, Aliyu. Folks, that's all the time we've got to be here. We'll be here tomorrow with What's on Your Mind edition. Until then, do have a pleasant midweek.